Hi everyone and welcome. Well, it's been a while since I posted, and we are way past the start of the Chinese New Year, which I believe was on the 17th of February. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to wish everybody a very happy Chinese New Year. And I sincerely hope that you've been finding the new incoming energies supportive of your healing process. Personally, I've found them incredibly supportive. And if that's not the case, then I encourage you to, if you are an SRT practitioner, to connect with your guidance and look at why that might be. There are always reasons, of course. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about grounding, what it is, why it matters, and how to actually ground. Now, of course, there are many different grounding techniques that are out there. I'm going to be sharing with you a grounding technique that I've been using now for many, many years. And I find it pretty effective. So in part one of this video, I'm going to just be talking to you a little bit about grounding, providing you with some information on this topic. And then in part two of the video, I'm going to lead you through the grounding practice. All right, so what do I mean when I say the word grounding? What do I actually mean? Now, in order to go through this with you, I think it's helpful to bring up a picture. Pictures are always helpful, I find. So let me just bring them up for you now. And of course, I've got to get used to Zoom's interface here. So let me find my share button. And I think that's the right one. Let's just take a look now. All right, so what you're looking at there is a picture of the body with the chakras. And I'm actually just going to draw on this picture to explain what it is I mean when we talk about grounding. So when we're grounding properly, we are bringing all of who we are, our divine essence, into the physical body. And we're bringing it all the way down to our 10th chakra, which is here. Okay. And then we also bring our energy back up. So we actually have, this is once you've done the grounding practice, of course. So we have the 9th chakra over here. And what we do is we are bringing our spiritual essence in. And then, of course, we're bringing resources from spirit in as well. And we are then bringing resources in from the earth. So that's the practice. What we have there is I just rub that out there. It's too much red. So what we're talking about is a heaven to earth flow and an earth to heaven flow. That's what the grounding practice will produce if you're doing it properly. And as we do this, what we're creating, of course, is a very nice, healthy, robust energy egg, which is also going to be supportive in terms of creating healthy boundaries so that we're not just picking up all sorts of garbage from, anyone and anywhere we might be. All right, so sometimes, of course, we can have trauma, either from this lifetime or other lifetimes. And that trauma that's present in the physical can often prevent our ability to actually bring all of who we are in. And generally speaking, that trauma typically shows up. I mean, it could be anywhere, but typically you'll find it in the lower three chakras. So the solar plexus, the sacral, and the root chakra. And so what may happen then, if you were to look at someone's energy, which often I do when I'm working with clients, your essence is coming in, but it maybe only come in as far as the heart chakra and no further, because we've got a load of a trauma that's running in the physical chakras, so the solar plexus, sacral, and root. Of course, we can work with guidance to address that trauma, and that will certainly be helpful in terms of being able to reground your divine spiritual essence in the physical. There are other reasons why we may not be able to ground. The other big one is that we may lack the necessary apparatus, if you want to call it that, in order to ground. And what I mean by that is we actually have near the ninth chakra, so around here, we have a grounding template and we have another one near the 10th. These are actual what's the word? Apparatus is, I guess, the only way to really explain it. Apparatus that helps to keep us grounded here in the physical. And sometimes these grounding templates or grounding plates, should I say, are not in place. They're not there. They're missing. The main reason for that, again, is usually because of trauma experiences, whether that's this lifetime or other lifetimes. Okay, so those are the two main reasons. There can be other reasons as to why we may not be grounded. Okay, and again, these things can be addressed when working with spiritual guidance. So let's talk about why it's important to ground. Okay, let me just stop share here for a minute. So why is it important that we actually ground? Well, for a start, it facilitates our healing process. So let's say you have a particular physical ailment or some kind of illness, and you're just maybe you're doing some SRT clearing around it, and you're not seeing any improvements in that particular thing that you're experiencing as a challenge. I'm not going to say it's 100% of the time, but more often than not, one of the reasons why people don't experience shifts at the physical level has to do with not bringing all of who you are into the physical body. Another reason for grounding is that it assists us in bringing things up for healing and transformation. So as you ground, because you're bringing resources in from spirit, resources in from the earth, you're really prepping the body so that the body is ready to release. And in this way, what you're going to find is that the stuff that needs to get released is going to come up for clearing and transformation. Okay, so that's another reason. Grounding also supports the health of the energetic kidneys. So the kidneys are the battery of the body. The more you ground, the more you're going to support the health of those energetic kidneys. Okay, and of course that's going to have an impact on your energy levels, right? Now, it also aids in our manifestation and goal setting process. You can often tell how well a person is grounded by their ability to work on and or achieve their goals. Now, I will say that we can certainly clear programs that may inhibit our grounding, but grounding is a practice, and it's not something that your guidance can do for you. It actually requires, that you make that choice to be grounded, to be embodied, to be fully present here, and obviously to participate in the grounding practice. So I'll just share a little bit of my own personal experience around this topic. I don't know if that's helpful or not. Maybe it is. And once I've shared that with you, we'll actually move on to the grounding practice. So, part of my soul's learning, shall we say, or karmic agenda is actually, working on being grounded. So that's been part of my learning process. Um, and I will say that I resisted doing grounding for many, 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 many years. I had an awareness of it. I certainly knew that it was something that I probably should do. But for whatever reason, I just didn't want to take up the practice until I got to a certain point in my career where I was experiencing a block in my business. And my guidance said to me, you really need to ground. So I thought, well, I haven't tried this before. Let's give it a go. And I made it a daily practice. I did the practice probably about twice a day. And my personal experience is that it really, really, really opened things up for me. So there's many, many benefits to doing the grounding. I can't think of any reasons why not to do it. Okay, that's enough on the lecture. I'm now going to lead you through the actual grounding process. Now, I think I probably already mentioned using the picture earlier But I'll just bring it up again just to refresh your memory. Let me just do that. Okay, so in our practice, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing in guidance has suggested that for this video, we bring in the frequencies of trust and unity. So these frequencies are available here in spirits, the outermost part of our field, the 12th chakra. Okay, that is where these resources are available that can come in and support our physical expression here. So we're going to bring resources in from spirit through the ninth chakra and allowing them in through the seventh, breathing them all the way down the physical body. And we're going to breathe them to the earth. So these are spiritual gifts from spirit that we're bringing in, actually gifts for the earth from spirit. And then we're going to breathe frequencies in from the earth. These are gifts from the earth, resources, spiritual incarnational resources that we're going to bring in from the earth through the 10th chakra. And we're going to breathe that all the way back up to the ninth. And as we do this, as I mentioned earlier, what we are creating is a really nice, healthy, robust energy egg. And that is at least one way that we can begin to create healthier boundaries, as I mentioned, so that we're not picking up all sorts of garbage. All right, let me just stop share there and we'll begin this practice. So you probably want to make sure for this practice that you are sitting comfortably on a chair. It is helpful if you can rest your feet on the floor and connecting with the earth energies. And it's also helpful, of course, to just gently close the eyes. So we'll begin with just taking a couple of nice, deep, slow breaths in through the crown of your head. So just allowing that breath to move very nicely and slowly down the body, through all the in-body chakras, all the way down to the ankles and feet, and just giving those toes a little wiggle. You can lift the toes, that actually activates the energetic kidneys. And yeah, it's just helpful to do this if you've been feeling like you haven't been feeling your feet. Wiggling the toes can just wake them up a little bit. So do that one more time, nice and slow. Lovely deep breath in through the crown of your head. And we're just giving the body permission to relax. If you've had a lot of stress in your day, depending on when you're watching this, maybe it's the end of your day. The moment we return to the breath, we return to our grounding. It's the quickest way to reground is just to breathe. So breathing all the way down the body, nice and slow, resetting that nervous system. Maybe that's been going into overdrive lately for yourself. Breathing all the way down to the feet. And into the earth to below the feet. Nice. So now I'd like you to go to the space above your head, your ninth chakra. It's roughly 2 feet above the head. And I'd like you to hold an intention for yourself, whatever that might be. You could set an intention for your own healing process. You can then set an intention for a particular goal, or just a general intention for the day. And we're also going to ask for healing streamers of grace to come in and support. It's just an extra request for help. They'll come in, they'll enter the energy field, they'll do the work that's needed, and then they'll leave when the work is done. So you don't have to micromanage them. So concentrating on that ninth chakra now, I want you to bring in the frequencies of unity and trust. unity, and trust. You can repeat those to yourself quietly as you bring them in. Now, I want you to also hold an intention to be open to receiving, because sometimes we can have programs or belief systems around, unworthiness of receiving, self-punishment, those kinds of things. So be firm in your intention. You want to be open to receiving these gifts of unity and trust from spirit. So allowing them to flow into the crown of the head, breathing into your third eye, which is in the central part of the brain. Throat chakra, really important chakra associated with expression of truth, wisdom, responsibility, but it's also connected to the etheric template body. Heart chakra, our big transformer, really important chakra for healing work. Solar plexus, this is connected to our mental body, where all of our belief systems are stored and how we navigate the horizontal world. Sacral chakra, our emotional body. Root chakra, a physical chakra connected to ancestral stuff, family, security, safety, finances. So breathe all the way down to your ankles and feet now. Really feeling your energy getting pulled as if by a giant magnet to the 10th chakra below your feet. Take a moment to feel your energy there. Be present there. Often, if we do not occupy this space, there will be other beings who will. So claim that space. Now you're going to gather resources from the earth. These are spiritual, incarnational resources that can support the physical body. We're going to offer these up to gifts as gifts to spirit. We don't have to consciously know what these resources are. It could be energy from other planets. It could be new DNA. It could be crystal energy. It could be fire energy. But we're going to gather these resources up. Again, holding that intention to be open to receiving from the earth. Sometimes we can have unworthiness run as well from the chakras. So breathing in now, allow these resources from the earth to come into the physical through the feet, nourishing all the meridians and chakras that are present there. So breathing into the root chakra, nourishing the root. Sacral, nourishing the sacral. Solar plexus, nourishing the solar plexus. Heart, nourishing the heart. Throat, nourishing the throat. Third eye, nourishing the third eye. Crown, nourishing the crown. And then finally, reconnect with the 9th chakra where we started. Take a few more deep breaths and memorize this feeling. Most people report feeling safe, calm, peaceful. And just know that if at any point during your day you get a little pulled off your center or you feel a little ungrounded, you can return to this state very quickly once you've cultivated this practice. All right. So I hope you found that helpful. Just one last note before I finish for today's recording. You can bring any resources in. Today we've brought in unity and trust. If you're having a very challenging day, I highly recommend bringing in ease and grace. That always helps for me. But essentially anything that's positive, whatever that might be for you and your process, whether that's love, joy, peace, happiness, yeah. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I really hope that you've found this video supportive and helpful. If you've enjoyed the video, please hit the subscribe button. And of course, if you are subscribed, then that means that you will be up to date with all my latest offerings. Okay. Wishing you much love and many blessings for the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.